This is KNEB.TV weather from the Arby's Weather Center. Arby's, we have the meats.
Well, we're looking at skies that are going to be partly to mostly cloudy as we go through the evening hours. Temperatures not really a big concern tonight, falling down into the 20s here across western Nebraska and southeastern Wyoming. Since we last talked on Christmas Eve, we've got some big changes in our forecast. Now, we told you last week there was a lot of uncertainty in the models, and unfortunately there's still a lot of uncertainty. But what we can tell you is accumulating snow now appears likely starting tomorrow night into the day on Saturday, and there are some travel problems that we could be dealing with depending on ultimately which direction this storm overall takes. We had a beautiful Christmas day, 49 degrees yesterday for a high after a morning low of just 27. So no problems on your pre-Christmas travel. We did have a couple of hundredths of an inch of moisture from some light rain that fell yesterday here across western Nebraska and southeastern Wyoming. Well, here's the big story, and it's hard to miss. A large swath of western Nebraska and northwestern Kansas, northeastern Colorado, and far eastern Wyoming now under a winter storm watch. This includes a large swath of the area and a large portion of our immediate area under these winter storm watches. They go until 6 a.m. Sunday morning. They start tomorrow night late, go all day Saturday and into Sunday morning. We're going to be dealing with the threat of accumulating snow and very gusty winds. We'll talk about that coming up here in just a moment in terms of how much uncertainty still exists in the models out there. Temperatures are much colder today than they were yesterday behind that frontal passage that did bring a little rain shower activity and some light snow at times as well. But generally speaking, no major issues here across the region with your travel. Temperatures into the upper 20s and low 30s right now. Winds are very, very light, almost non-existent, under 5 miles an hour, so no real issues to be concerned about in terms of wind chills. They're about the same as the air temperatures, as there just is not a lot of wind out there. So as we take a look at our forecast for tonight, we're going to be dealing with just partly cloudy skies, generally speaking. Not much going on out there. Temperatures are going to remain above normal for this time of year, but cooler than what they've been the last few days, as we will fall down into the teens and 20s for lows overnight here across the region. Now, tomorrow, the day starts out very benign. During the daylight hours, it's going to be pretty boring, partly cloudy skies. But as we get later on in the day, you'll notice we start to see some snow form, first off to our south and east, and then starting to work its way here into our region. Is this frontal system and the storm system responsible for this snow is to the south and east of us, and ultimately where we end up on the back side of this, bringing in that snow when the colder air comes in, is what we're going to have to deal with in terms of accumulating snows. We'll show you a couple of different options that we've got out there from two of the more reliable models. Temperatures tomorrow for highs only in the upper 30s to near 40 degrees. Now, here's one forecast model that we deal a lot with here in the wintertime. This is the European model. Notice it's got moderate to heavy snows across our region, heavier into portions of South Dakota. What that looks for here in the immediate area. Now, again, this is one forecast model, bringing us over a foot of snow possible in some areas. Does that mean this model is going to verify? We don't know. It's a possibility. Notice a large portion of the region, though, in excess of 3 to 6 to even 7 to 10 inches of snow out of the European model. Same time frame. This is looking at the GFS model. Notice it's got lighter snow amounts across the entire region, heavier snow pushed to our east into portions of the Sandhills and central portions of Nebraska. What that looks like for us, boiling it down into numbers, is more of a 2 to 4 to 3 to 6 inch range. What we think is ultimately going to happen, we think the heaviest snow, at least in our area, is most likely to be along and east of a line from about Kimball up through Gordon and Rushville and points to the east. That area has a higher probability of seeing heavier snow amounts than areas off to the east of us, or than areas to the west of us. We certainly think there is a possibility in some uncertain areas, certainly out there, areas from around, say, Chadron over to Torrington and into the Scotts Bluff area and down towards Cheyenne. Some uncertainty exists in all of those areas. Bottom line is there's the possibility of some pretty substantial snowfall totals from this, but what's ultimately going to be the big caveat is the winds. They're going to be very strong and producing blowing and drifting snow. No problems tonight, 23. Tomorrow during the day, no problems either. Partly cloudy skies. Snow should develop probably after dark tomorrow and especially get going tomorrow night. Temperatures around 40 for a high. We're going to keep that snow in the forecast all day Saturday and kick those winds up Saturday and even into Sunday morning and even probably part of Sunday afternoon. Temps much colder, only in the upper 20s to near 30 degrees all the way through Monday. So this is a big change from what we had even as early as yesterday morning. We've changed a lot to the forecast, still a lot of uncertainty. Bottom line, stay tuned. If you're going to be traveling, get it done today, tomorrow, before dark. Shouldn't have any travel problems. It's really tomorrow after dark, and then especially Saturday and Sunday when we could be seeing some significant travel problems here across the area. And as always, stay tuned for the very latest forecast updates.